That's beautiful. Okay. You're channeling Edith Piaf, Ne regrette rien. You've probably seen that commercial here lately. It's a car commercial. I think it's a car commercial. Live with every fiber of your being. Weaponize your flaws. And then we have Jackson Pollock. Meaning doesn't come with titles. If fame finds you, keep working in spite of it. And chaos is handmade. I've got a cat over here doing something. Kitty? Okay. They heard me talking about them and quit. So, you know, I'm like, there is this chaos, definitely, that's happening. I mean, like, just, you know, I don't even know what's happened. Today happens to be voting day. I'm recording this on election day, so I have no idea what the results are going to be, but no doubt there will be chaos regardless, right? So I feel like that has to do with this chaos here. But, you know, it's like, but despite the chaos, there's like this just beautiful energy, right? These heart-shaped petals just falling all around her. There's definitely love going on here. And I do tend to see this, you know, this forgiveness card. You know, she's holding these 4 sticks in her hands, right? Which reminds me of 4 of Wands. And I always get this healing of past lives even, right? She has this like shawl on her head. I get this feeling of another time even, right? Like healing of past lives even. Is that... Yeah, it's fairly in the middle. Okay, so this is really beautiful. I'm seeing this time of tremendous growth, expansion. And yes, there are, you know, I just noticed this breaks down to a 7 as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sevens here. And that just tells me that, yeah, there is, you know, there's change, there's growth, there's challenge here, but I feel like you are really surrendering to it. There's this trust in it. If these are tests, you're passing all of the tests. Yeah, and I just am drawn, you know, because we have blooms. We in the future is blooms, which is, you know, all of this is such loving, beautiful energy here. And then we have bones, above and below. We have this groundedness, this feeling of safety, right? And then we have the wands here, this action, enthusiasm, you know, and we've got this plumes right here in the center of it, the 2 of plumes, which is the moon in Libra, right? That beautiful balance and that going within. And I'm just, you know, this woman here is like surrendering, just opening herself, that heart going forward and just lifting herself up to the cosmos. And it's like these wings, right? Just wrapping around her, the cosmos, just taking her in and giving her this comfort and protection. And this, you know, it says the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And the 2 of Swords in a traditional deck, you know, you see a woman sitting in front of a placid lake, blindfolded, right, going within, to find the answers, right? This is a time of chaos, a time of unknown, but you are just surrendering to it, going within and finding the answers. Because I see such growth here. And, this up here, this is the above. This is what you're consciously doing, right? Your goal is, and it says birthing creation's tapestry of life expression. And it's the 7 of bones. And, once again, we see all these mushrooms on this bone. And this is like the femur, I believe. This is the kneecap right here. But it's just, it's got legs, right? And I just see you, kind of taking it all in, the tapestry of life, kind of enjoy, we see these people, these sisters dancing and just weaving in and out. And, there's so much growth here. There are so many ideas that are happening, and you might even have so many ideas you're not even sure what to do with it. And you've probably been thinking about these for a while. And I do see one here kind of stands out. This is in your water element, right? Your emotions, but it fits, right? All these 7s are connected, right? This is something you've been thinking about, dreaming about, imagining, right? And this can be so many things. This is creative projects, expression, this expression of love, because we have this page of stones here. And this, I just really get this desire coming from this in the water element. And I do think that you are communicating with someone. And then below we have the Star Brothers with the 10 of bones. And once again, we have these wings here. And it says protection, loyalty, safety, trust. And, then with the 10 of bones there, I often see that 10 of bones as our ancestors. And that there is this completion, there is this success. And you have this faith in all of it, in the subconscious. And the subconscious, it can make or break you. And of course, being aware, if we have stuff that's in our subconscious, and that's what's wonderful about doing these kind of readings, is that we're made aware of it, right? If we can be aware of what's going on in our subconscious, we can change it. But this is like beautiful. Beautiful. Communing, right? There's this communing with your ancestors, with everything, right? The universal light, just being so connected. And this live with every fiber of your being, this surrender is absolutely what allows you to do that. So we'll go to, what's surrounding all of this. And, I tend to see this as the first week. And this is just really, loving energy, laid back energy. We see this King of Blooms, looking at the Queen of Blooms here. And it's even with his third eye more than anything. So, this is a connection. I definitely am feeling like for most of you, this is a connection that's been made. This could be someone who is in your present that you're currently connected with, or it could be somebody that you've made a connection to in the past. If it's somebody from the past, right, because we have the 6 of Blooms here, you know, you may or may not be in contact with them right now, but you're thinking about it, right? There's this fantasy. And if you've already made this connection, this could just be, you know, relaying your fantasies to this person, which is very saucy in itself. So either way, there's this beautiful connection that's been made. It's either in the now or it's going to be in the future, because I do see, like, you know, there may be some kind of unknown with this, right? Because this is at the center of the reading, right? There might be some kind of problem, but you're going to be working through it with this Page of Stones, with the Seven of Stones here. Yeah, this, I guess I have to go over here first, though, because this is in your earth element. So this is like you, basically, whether you're masculine or feminine, right? Doesn't matter. You're taking on a more masculine, you know, kind of, yeah, this guy, it's a beta fish. He tends to be more of a loner, right? Spending more time alone. He gets put in a tank by himself because he's aggressive, right? There might be like this, and we do have Mars finally moving forward. Yeah, that first week. So it might be, you know, that all these things that you've been imagining, you're ready to like take some action on it, right? Fighting for this love, you know, because we do have this Seven of Stones here, and you're feeling, you know, and you can feel this connection is family, right? You're ready to fight for it. That's in your emotions. You're ready to fight for it. You're ready to take action. You're ready to be assertive and communicate. And this is your action, right? This is your fire element. I'm also seeing, you know, if you are an artist, if you're working on some kind of creative project, or, you know, and a creative project can be anything where you're creating, right? Creating a business, creating, you know, whatever it may be. You know, there's some action being taken here. Creative, it's new, right? It's new, it's creative, it's, you know, and it's looking at the Seven of Bones, which is also very creative energy. This is birthing creations. And, you know, there's a exploratory, curious nature to the Page of Stones. So, and with both of these, you're definitely taking action, and it's like there's, you know, there's been some thought put into it, definitely, but you're not too worried about what the results are at this point in time. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Regret nothing. Live with every fiber of your being, and that's what you're doing here. This is really gorgeous for you guys. You know, there's this groundedness, which is you, but I mean, like, I'm not used to seeing this really positive, like, movement and, you know, like shaking it up. Chaos is handmade, right? You're like just going for it. This is awesome. And it leads you to, you know, this. If this is, you know, something from the past, this is, you know, that soulmate connection. And I think it is a soulmate connection. At the very least, this is just returning to, you know, that harmony, this love of life, right? We see this, and this is like a seedling that's grown, you know, overnight. This is a day lily, and it is fleeting, right? So when those moments arise, make sure you're really taking it in, right? This living with every fiber of your being. And if this is something, a relationship that's ongoing, this is like a return to a youthful kind of love, and a return to sweethearts. Yeah. This is really, really gorgeous. And I mean, like I said, there is this otherworldliness that's associated with all this. I mean, the cosmos, mystic, priestess, the cosmos. Underneath that is you are the oracle. Underneath that, keepers of the earth, ancient ancestors stand beside you. Underneath that, mirror, right? This soulmate. And then underneath that, trust the timing. And underneath that is baby steps. And you all have got this before, right? Follow your intuition before it makes sense. And it doesn't have to be big steps, right? But I feel like you are making some steps. And maybe those have been from the past. And because I really feel like there's this shakeup that's happening here. William Blake. Pity is what it's called. And we see this figure laying down. And this is like the Chariot here. And this little creation. You know what this is about? This is about like what we're going through here, right? That's why there's this two of plumes here, the light and the dark, right? And just kind of those who are, because we have such this divisiveness, right, in the world today. And I feel like this is we are kind of like taking flight and have these new creations, and those who have they're not here, right? They're at a lower vibration, and they're kind of like in this state of mourning. And I feel like there's this, sense of pity, but you can't get too lost in that. Oh, wow, look at this. It says, the true artist is a prophet because he or she is given divine insight. Right here. It just stood out to me. He believed that the spiritual is more important than the material. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Because I'm seeing definitely this artistry. Like I said, I feel like you're channeling. Yeah. There's definite, and I'd forgotten about that, but I definitely get that channeling message from this. And then over here, I'm not going to go into this a lot, but it's kind of a chaotic type scene, right? There's a lot going on here. We see this life, the tapestry of life, right? Just being kind of a witness at this point in time.